in Ondo State, southwest Nigeria. Following Wednesday's deadline for the sales of expression of interest and nomination forms, the ruling All Progressives Congress APC raised 720 million naira from 16 governorship aspirants jostling for the party's ticket for the April 20 primary election. Dr. Abike, let me start with you. This is a lot of money.
It is. This is during the electoral season, political parties make a lot of money. And during this period too, the level of transparency of the political parties also comes into play. APC made tens of billions of naira from selling the expression of interest and nomination forms for the presidential, governorship, or the elections. And you can see that shortly after the elections, the leadership of the party came on firing line. In fact, a member of the ESCO, of the NWC, was one who raised alarm that they can't account for a good chunk of that money. Today in the Labour Party, Barrister Julius Abure is being accused of corruption and mismanagement of the sum of 3.5 billion that they made from the sale of forms. And he's also been accused of selling the Labour Party governorship, expression of interest and nomination forms for 50 million. Now, that's a party that was said to have been formed so that the ordinary Nigerian worker should be able to contest elective positions. But if you are selling nomination form for governorship election at the rate of 50 million, how much will you sell the presidential election form? How much will you sell senatorial forms for senatorial aspirants? So these monies will come, but again, for me, the parties have monetized politics, and it's a lot of money. It makes no sense to be doing this. In fact, it's like, look at what happened in the last election. Even the PDP, who actually institutionalized this idea of getting people to pay so much, the asking price for their presidential nomination form was even lower than that of the APC, which means that the APC did not just learn from the PDP, but they exceeded the APC, the PDP, in terms of the monetization of our politics. I don't see it as something that should continue. There should be other criteria, other guidelines by which you can actually assess contestants and validate contestants for elections without using money to stop people from contesting. Democracy should be an all-comers affair as long as the people meet the set criteria. And you can use even academic qualifications, experience, and all that to determine who and who is qualified to contest. But these days, it's money that we use to determine who should contest, because there's no way that you will not stop some people from contesting when you raise the bar in terms of the money that they have to pay. Some people will not be able to afford it, not because they are not good enough, or not because they are not even better than some of the people contesting, but because the money, they can't afford that money. And it's not everyone who will be lucky like Buhari that he came and people helped him to pay for his forms. Even that one is not a particularly good idea, because it can be used to blackmail a president, because a president that you helped him to buy his form will now feel that he's indebted to you and that he has to give you contracts and all that you can use to recoup what you spent on him. Honestly, I think that something should be done about the rate at which we try to make money from contestants.
All right, so Doctor, while you react to that, the National Working Committee of the APC has settled for a direct mode of primary.
Well, it's good. Whichever the party settles for, the most important thing is transparency. Let everybody who wants to contest get this sense of a fair contest from the party. Let it not be that you have chosen a particular kind of mode for your primaries simply because you want to favor the other person. And that's one of the good things about abandoning the initial, the prior mode, where virtually everybody who is an appointed aide is a delegate. Far better, because like we said, in the 2023 elections, if that had happened, perhaps President Bola Ahmed Tinubu would not have been in the office, because there are too many aides around that people can use, even against their own principles. So, and number two is that it gives room for those who are the real owners of the party from the grassroots, the ward level up, to show face to elect who they want. Nobody is saying it is foolproof. Okay. But it is far better than where a governor who has about 2,000, 3,000 aides brings them to the primaries. Far better. The president who has 700 aides, who include ministers, all the appointees of the ministers, all of them will flood. So it's quite better than what we've had in the past.
All right, BKO, April 20 is the day for the primary election. If you look at the 16 aspirants jostling for this ticket, do you think this is a walkover for the governor?
There is no such thing as a walkover in a contest like this.
Oh.
He has to work hard to earn victory. And there are some people who are experienced, who have always contested, and who have a big support base.
Yeah.
You know? So if we have such people in the contest, different tendencies, the people who are very close to the former governor, people who served in that cabinet, who had signified their intention a long time ago, you can't have such people in the contest and expect that it's going to be a walkover. It's not going to be a walkover. The governor will have to work hard if he wants to win.
Very hard.
And I'm sure he knows that it won't be a walkover. No, it doesn't look like a walkover at all.
All right, gentlemen. It appears there is